Hey there guys, CrossFlux here, and welcome back to more Let's Play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team. In the last episode, we saw that Pokemon Square was a bit more lively than we're used to seeing as how a thief struck the Kecleon Shop and a wild spindle wandered into town. So in today's episode, we'll be investigating that thief first, since that's kind of the more pressing of the two matters. We apologize for interrupting this broadcast, but we have breaking news. Hello folks, CrossFlux News here with a few important announcements. I'm your host, CrossFlux. Now, let's go to CrossFlux on the field and see what all the hubbub is about. CrossFlux? Yeah, CrossFlux, it's seriously not a big deal. There's not really any breaking news here or anything like that. CrossFlux, you don't get paid to think. You get paid to report the news. Chet, I don't get paid at all. Obvious jokes aside, just please report the news to the good people. If you insist. First up, we have Chansey's fortune telling. As a special treat, I'll share a simple way to tell fortunes with you. The key is the first thing you find in the day's first dungeon. If it's money, you'll be sure to make more. If it's a berry, your health luck is good. And if it's an apple, you're super lucky. Chansey. Up next, we have Fan Club seeking members. We proudly announce the foundation of the Red and Blue Fan Club, an organization for supporting Pokemon rescue teams. We're currently recruiting new members. Won't you join and throw your support behind our hard-working rescue heroes? Plusle and Minun. And finally, Slackoth Pillows for Insomnia. Relief for delicate souls who can't sleep with different pillows. Insomniacs rejoiced over this announcement of the Slackoth Pillow, which is said to induce sleepiness just by seeing it. Already the inventor is swamped with inquiries from all over. However, production is said to not quite be ready yet. Back to you, wait, hold on a second. These were just advertisements. CrossFlux, you do realize this is a news studio, not an advertising studio, right? Well, of course I know that. You're the one with all the news, CrossFlux. Stop trying to tarnish my beautiful and prestigious news studio with all of your corporate greed. Sorry about that, folks. It seems that I will have to personally make sure that any future news reports are appropriately reviewed before being discussed. Thank you all so much for your patience. Now, back to your regularly scheduled program. I've been CrossFlux with CrossFlux News, signing off. Anyways, before we actually tackle the thief entirely, let's check out Skipper's level here. 36. It seems as if he's ready for his final evolution state. Seems like we've come so far from our little days as a Mudkip. But yep, now that we've hit level 36, we're ready for our final form of Swampert. And in a very similar fashion, we'll find that off screen I leveled up Lizzie a little bit, and she's reached level 36 as well. So, I'm going to go swap out team members real quick and bring Lizzie up to a Charizard. So now she can rival Charizard from Alakazam's team as well. Our little Mudkip and Charmander are all grown up now. It's kind of sad, but it's also really happy at the same time. Now our team's fully prepared. Let me just assemble all the rest of the members real quick. And we'll head out to the northern range, which is where we know the thief flew to, and we'll storm the hideout and get Kecleon's wares back. Alright guys, I decided to bring back the tried and true team of Skipper, Lizzie, and Tesla, and I even decided to go with Skipper being the leader just to reminisce about how the old times have changed. So, heading straight into the northern range here. This dungeon is filled to the brim with flying type foes, so electric, ice, and rock type Pokemon form the best partners here. So Tesla's going to pull double duty in that regard. This dungeon is also pretty lengthy, weighing in at 25 floors. And surprisingly enough, I say that the hardest parts of this dungeon are actually the first few floors. Mostly because of that Beautifly you saw down there. Beautifly has access to the Silver Wind move, which is a bug type move that, well, no, I don't want to swap places with Lizzie. It's a bug type move that is like Powder Snow in that it will hit the entire room that you're in full of party, and there's a decent chance that it'll raise the user's stats just like Ancient Power. So Beautifly definitely poses a problem because it can just spam Silverwind all day long, and there's not really much you can do about it as it keeps increasing its movement speed so it can keep spamming damage. So yeah, it's kind of annoying, but once you get past the first 6 floors or so, the dungeon gets to be a lot easier. During the later floors, however, I think Togetic takes over as the bigger threat, seeing as how it has access to Ancient Power. So, those are really the only 2 big threats of this dungeon. The rest of the dungeon itself is just difficult from the dungeon layout and the traps that are strewn about here. So, yeah, there's a large variety of traps on display in this dungeon, and the layout is pretty confusing. Think Sky Tower, but even more confusing, if that makes any sense. The items that you can get here are honestly not that great. I definitely don't recommend scouring the floors thoroughly in order to find goodies, because you're just going to be really let down if you do that. So my recommendations is literally just take the stairs as soon as you can find them. Obviously, unless you're here for recruiting purposes, but that's an entire thing altogether. So, there's not really much else I need to say about this dungeon, so I'll go ahead and hit that speed up, and I'll meet you guys on the other side just before, hopefully, we meet that thief at the end here. So, see ya in just a few. What's that? Hey, what's the big idea? You mean to tell me Lizzie can't cross over water? Then what was the point of evolving her so that she has wings? So, yeah, apparently Charizard doesn't have the flight terrain ability, which means that it can't cross over gaps or water tiles. I'm not really sure why they did that. I guess maybe they thought having one of the starter Pokemon having a flight terrain ability once it's fully evolved was a little unfair compared to the fact that none of the other Pokemon would have an ability like that. And also maybe, now that I think about it, if it had the flight ability, then whenever Charizard crossed over lava tiles, it would still attempt to get burned. But since fire types can't get burned, there would be that dialogue box saying that, oh no, this Charizard can't get burns, and it would just get annoying having that happen after every single step onto a lava tile. But I'm sure there's something they could have done where they could have programmed it so that Charizard could be able to fly over any terrain square and not have to worry about getting burned. I don't know. Just seems a little iffy if you ask me. I've talked about Kecleon Shops before, but I've never actually had a chance to really show them off. Seeing as how, for whatever reason, they just never spawned in the dungeon. So usually they're filled with pretty mediocre items like this, but some Kecleon Shops will actually have some pretty decent items. Some items that you can actually only get by purchasing them through a Kecleon Shop in a dungeon like that. So basically it works, obviously, if you have Poke with you in the dungeon, you take the item that you want, and when you decide to leave a carpet tile, Kecleon will ask you to pay for the items that you decided to pick up. And obviously what you should do is pay. Otherwise, if you don't, he will fight you, and he is incredibly difficult to kill. I mean, it's possible, but it's really difficult. So usually what I like to do is, if I'm strapped for cash and he has like some really epic item that I just don't want to try and wait around for him to get another copy of, then I'll use a Troll Orb at the stairs, and the Troll Orb will work on the Kecleon stock as well. So it'll move all those items on his carpet right next to you on those stairs. Then you can just pick them all up and flee to the next floor, and wham bam, you're a thief that never got caught. So yeah, that's all there is to really say about that. So back to the speed up. Alright guys, I'm back and I just prepared my team's move set. So, hopefully this floor is where we'll encounter that pesky thief. Oh, who are you? I see, you're trying to get your TMs back. But, nobody can stop me. I'm the Eon Pokemon Latios. If you really want your TMs back, you'll have to take them from me. Well, if he's not going to listen to reason or anything, all we gotta do is try and take him down. So Latios here is level 30 and has 600 hit points, so pretty hefty. Being a dragon type, he has a lot of resistances. He also, as you can see here, has the refresh move, which will cure any statuses that he may accumulate over battle. But other than that, his fight isn't that bad, especially since you have an ice type move usually by this point in the game. Also, since ice is really good against all the flying type Pokemon in this dungeon, yeah, it's a shoo-in for a fight here. Or for an easy victory, I should say. Now, if Skipper here doesn't keep trying to use Ice Beam, that would be really helpful. But after just a few hits at this point in the game, you should be able to take him down. Ugh. Please, please let me go. I have to go. There's somewhere that I have to go. If I don't hurry, my little sister. Huh? Little sister? Well, we'll just have to save the rest of this cutscene for the next episode. Thanks so much guys for watching. Hope you all have a blessed day, and I'll see you then.